This is one of Bollywood's most requested and enduring mysteries. It's a story so full of conflicting information and unanswered questions that the official explanation has never truly been accepted by the public. Imagine this. In the early 90s, a 19-year-old actress named Divya Bharti takes the entire film industry by storm. In just over 2 years, she achieves a level of success most actors don't see in a lifetime. She has over 20 films, prestigious awards, a secret marriage to a top producer, and millions of fans. She was, without a doubt, on top of the world. Then, on the night of 5th April, 1993, that story comes to a shocking end. Divya falls 5 stories from her apartment window. The police quickly ruled it an accident and closed the case. But for over 3 decades, that official story has been challenged by persistent whispers of foul play. Whispers of a troubled private life, powerful enemies, and underworld connections that point to a much darker theory. That Divya Bharti didn't fall, she was pushed. Today, we investigate the mystery that has refused to die. Was it a tragic accident, a desperate suicide, or a cold-blooded murder? To understand the shock of her death, you first have to understand the sheer speed of her rise. Born in 1974, Divya entered the film world at just 16, debuting in a Telugu film called Bobili Raja. It was a blockbuster, making her an overnight sensation. But her goal was Bollywood. In 1992, she exploded onto the Hindi scene with Vishwatma. While the film did okay, its song, Saath Samundar Par, became a national anthem and turned Divya into a household name. From there, it was a whirlwind. She delivered superhit after superhit, like Shola or Shaban and Deewana, which earned her a Filmfare Award for Best Debut alongside another newcomer, Shah Rukh Khan. She was praised by co-stars for her raw talent and was reportedly the highest-paid actress of her time, a force of nature who was replacing the biggest stars in the industry. At just 18, she also took a huge step in her personal life, secretly marrying producer Sajid Nadiadwala in the spring of 1992. The marriage was kept quiet, partly due to her family's concerns and the industry fear that a married-led actress could lose her appeal. This secret added another layer of pressure to her already intense life. 5th April, 1993, began as a normal day. Divya had just returned from a shoot and was excited about finalizing a deal for a new, larger apartment. She cancelled a work trip and instead planned a small get-together at her 5th-floor apartment in the Tulsi buildings in Warsaw. Her guests were her friend and designer, Neeta Lulla, and Neeta's husband, Dr. Shyam Lulla. They arrived around 10 p.m. The three were in the living room, talking and drinking. Divya's maid, Amrita, was also there, preparing snacks in the kitchen and speaking with Divya. The layout of the apartment is a critical detail. The living room had a large, sliding window that, unlike many others, had no safety grille. Below this window was the building's parking lot. Accounts from that evening state that Divya, who had been drinking, moved towards this open window. She was known for being impulsive and was sometimes seen sitting on ledges. She pulled herself up to sit on the narrow window ledge, facing into the room. While her guests were reportedly distracted by the TV, Divya continued talking to her maid. In a split second, as she tried to turn around, she lost her balance and slipped. Her guests and neighbors heard a sickening thud. They rushed down to find her lying in a pool of blood on the concrete. She was still alive when paramedics arrived, but died at the hospital from massive head injuries and internal bleeding. At just 19 years old, Bollywood's brightest star was gone. The Mumbai police investigation was concluded in 1998, with the official cause of death ruled as accidental. For the authorities, the case was closed. But for the public, the questions were just beginning. Critics point to several inconsistencies. Why were the only eyewitnesses in the room, Neeta and Shyam Lulla, not subjected to more rigorous questioning? Why were crucial investigative tools apparently not used? The most tragic footnote to this case is the fate of Divya's maid, Amrita. She was the last person Divya spoke to. In the aftermath of the tragedy, she reportedly fell into a severe depression. Just weeks after Divya's death, Amrita herself died suddenly. Her death meant that a key witness was lost forever, leaving a permanent gap in the timeline of events and fueling theories of a cover-up. This case is a maze of conflicting information. If this breakdown is helping you navigate the complexities, please hit that like button. 3 decades later, 3 competing narratives attempt to explain what happened that night. This is the official police version and the most straightforward. Divya's own father eventually came to accept it, stating, "It was an accident. She sat on the ledge, lost her balance and fell." Friends noted her impulsive, fearless nature. She had been drinking, which would have impaired her judgment. A simple, tragic slip. It's an explanation that requires no conspiracy, only a heartbreaking combination of alcohol and terrible luck. While her family has always denied this, whispers of suicide have persisted. The theory is that the pressure of her rapid fame, a secret marriage, and a grueling schedule had taken a toll. Some accounts claim she was battling depression. However, this is contradicted by her actions on the day she died. She had just finalized the purchase of a new home with her husband, which suggests she was planning for the future. Those closest to her maintain she was too full of life to have ended it herself. This is the darkest and most persistent theory, with a few branches. The first points to her husband, Sajid Nadiadwala. Rumors circulated about a turbulent relationship and his alleged connections to the Mumbai underworld. The theory suggests Divya either knew too much about his dealings or wanted out of the marriage, giving him a motive to silence her. However, there is no evidence to support this. In fact, reports from that night describe Sajid as being completely devastated, and he continued to care for Divya's parents for years after her death. Another branch of this theory suggests broader underworld influence in Bollywood. Was Divya a victim of mafia rivalries or extortion? Her rapid success had definitely created enemies. Could someone have wanted her gone? The sudden death of her maid, Amrita, is often cited as proof that someone was silencing witnesses. But like all the murder theories, this remains pure speculation, built on circumstance and a deep mistrust of the official investigation. For over 30 years, these questions have echoed. The police closed the file, but the public never did. What do you think really happened to Divya Bharti? Which theory do you find most compelling? Share your perspective in the comments below. In 1998, the case was officially closed as an accident. Yet, the label, Unsolved Mystery, has clung to her story. The lack of a grill on the window, the death of a key witness, these details have prevented the official narrative from ever feeling complete. What we are left with is the tragic certainty of loss. A vibrant, talented young woman was extinguished at the height of her career. Divya Bharti's story is a monument to a brilliant, brief life, but it's also a cautionary tale about the blinding speed of fame. Whether by accident, by her own hand, or by another's, her fall silenced one of the most promising voices of her generation, leaving behind a legacy defined by both her incredible career and the unanswered questions she left behind. And if you want to see more investigations into complex cases like this, make sure to subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss our next deep dive.